Hi, and welcome to the Changing Perspectives podcast, the show where we discuss a variety of topics, including grief, parenting, health and wellness, and relationships. Join us and explore a number of changing perspectives. We're your hosts, Jenni and Josh Brennan. Hi, Jenni.
Hi.
What's happening?
Nothing. I'm trying to take a picture of Norma Jean in our new studio.
Oh, how's it going?
Not well.
Not so good?
No.
Do you want me to hit pause while you take a picture?
No, it's fine. I got it.
You got it. Okay. Well, welcome everybody to episode 37. This is pretty exciting right now because of where we are and what's going on. But what's so funny?
This is my picture of her.
Oh, that's her butt.
I need go-go gadget arms.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did not release on Monday this week.
Right, because
we
had
were busy doing something.
Slamming a bureau on my finger.
Oh, that's right. That did happen.
When you dropped a bureau on me.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
And you don't remember that? I
I'm
started
just kidding.
screaming and sobbing. Jacob ran to get ice. Without me asking. That was very sweet of him.
He was like super responsive superhero guy. Boom.
So he was like, oh my God, Mom is sobbing right now. I'm out.
Let me get myself away from this stressful situation.
And I sliced my other nail off of my finger. So we had a fun day yesterday.
Well, what were we doing?
We were rearranging, reorganizing, and moving 3 rooms in our house.
3 rooms.
Right. Because our teenager, I don't want to like give away the layout of our house, but we have a 4-bedroom house.
Yes.
And the 4th bedroom has gone through, gosh, so how many
Well,
times?
when we moved in, we only used 2 bedrooms because the boys shared a room.
Yeah.
Because we had bunk beds. They were little. Feels like eons ago. But one of the 4 bedrooms became a playroom. Mm-hmm. The other one became an office / studio.
Mm-hmm.
That since you and I had our own place years and years and years ago, we felt like we've always at least tried to have an office / music studio.
Did
right?
we have that at the house we rented when we had Jackson? We didn't have a studio then.
Yeah, we did.
Where?
It was because I used to give lessons out of there. It was what eventually became his room, that bottom, or his playroom.
The one that became our bedroom when I was pregnant.
Yes, that
I was
room.
on bed rest and I couldn't go up and down stairs.
Yep.
So we moved our room downstairs. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. That's right.
All
That's right. Because we had 2 bedrooms upstairs.
Yeah. So we've always had a room like that. Anyway, that's what we had when we first moved in. Then the boys decided to have their own rooms. I don't even know how many years ago. But that room that was the playroom became a boys' room, and then we continue to have an office / studio, which has moved around our house, actually.
Yes. Based
on whatever rooms the boys were in. But anyway, go ahead. I feel like I interrupted you.
You do all the time.
Go ahead.
I lost my train of thought. So we have a 4-bedroom home and had been most recently using 3 bedrooms, sort of in sort of the 3 more traditional bedrooms, and the other one. Maybe a little before Christmas, we made sort of like an extra sitting room extension of our living room, which was really quite nice and lovely. But our teenager had requested some more space. And initially I was against it, but then when I really thought about it, the bedroom he was in is the smallest room of the house.
It is.
And he just looked so uncomfortable in that room.
He did. He's too big.
Yeah. So he asked if he could move to the other room. But that meant big changes.
Big changes.
Because if you watch Friends, that extra room that he wanted to move into was the location of Monica's closet.
Yes.
Yes, except it's Josh's closet.
Well, is it though?
Yeah, that's where all of your instruments are. There's like 72 guitars, a rain stick, a trombone, I don't know, some other kind of horn, some... What's that thing with the beads on it?
It's called a kabasa.
Kabasa.
Not kielbasa.
Not kielbasa.
Not sausage. Kabasa.
Kabasa.
Yeah, it's for
Not like
Latin
cabeza.
jazz music.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like 1,000 music books that you never ever look at because now we have the internet.
Okay, well that's true. But I love knowing that they're there. I have them. Listen, I don't teach anymore.
I know.
Everybody, did we talk about that at some point in our history?
Maybe in the intro.
Yeah, maybe. So I used to teach
Although
private
I forgot
lessons.
to talk about hospice, so
That's
it's possible you forgot to talk about that.
So everybody knows that my background is music in college, and I used to teach private music lessons out of our home. Actually, I used to go to students' homes as well, house calls. But I used to teach out of our home a lot, pretty much up until I was a part-time coach with my kids. I couldn't fit it all in, so I stopped. But anyway, if I ever go back to teaching music, that's what I'll use.
You're going to bring out those dusty books that like the covers are ripped off, or you're going to go online and buy new ones?
No, I'm going to use those books that have my notes in them, that are, they're classic books.
I call baloney.
No, I would.
Except
no
not really baloney.
No baloney.
Did I ever play that game with you? Not baloney, but it sounds like baloney, sort of. It's a card game, and if you're lying, the other person says baloney.
Do you mean bull baloney?
Bull baloney.
Okay.
So yes, I forget how to play that game. Anyways, so it meant emptying that closet and relocating everything out of that room, and then emptying everything out of a teenager's room.
Yeah. Which was just gross.
Gross. We should have worn hazmat suits. And
let's just say our washing machine has been on overtime the past 2 days.
And lots of trash bags.
Yeah.
Even though, I feel like we just a month ago cleaned out this room because we cleaned the carpets in here.
Yeah.
In his room. So within 3 weeks.
I don't know.
Teenagers are gross, man.
They're gross.
It also meant
aliens
that Jackson, our not teenager.
You mean Jacob?
Jacob, yeah. I was for a moment protecting his name. Was wanted to change his room around. And I take responsibility for this because about every 6 months when I was a kid, I would move furniture around in my room.
Yeah.
Except I would measure the walls and measure out my furniture and then create a scale drawing.
Of course you did.
And cutouts made to scale of all the furniture and how everything would be positioned.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. You three don't know how to do that. You three were all like, I think this would look great hanging from the ceiling. And I was like, that's not going to fit. And then we tried it and it didn't really fit. So.
Well, yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. Well, you had this big plan. You and Jacob had the layout of his room. And I said, that's not going to work.
Well, it sort of does. We just had to move it around a little bit. Like the basic format or whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. But yes, you were right with the spatial stuff.
It meant a whole day.
It was a whole day.
Which was a beautiful day.
It was.
And actually, I think it kind of ties in with what I want to talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
But so we sort of reorganized 3 rooms worth of stuff. So now our teenager is in a different room. Our 10-year-old has a different setup of a room and swapped out some furniture. And we moved our 10-year-old's desk.
Yes.
Into.
Which he wasn't really using as a desk.
No, and friends of ours are very brave and just up and relocated from Massachusetts to one of the Carolinas last month. I'm so jealous of them.
I know.
And they're building a house and they had to go to the beach and it's cheap down there.
Right.
So they did that and they just happened to post this cute little ladder desk and I picked it up not knowing what we were going to use it for. And our 10-year-old kind of wanted it in his room, so it all worked out. So now we have an actual office.
We do.
With a desk, so I can now teach from the office. I had been teaching all my Simmons classes from my kitchen. I don't really know why. Because it was more comfortable to sit at the kitchen table than in what was our office.
Move that mic up a little bit. There you go.
And That's lost my train of thought.
Sorry about that. I wanted everybody to be able to hear your amazing voice.
But now we have an actual fixed studio for recording. So I have a desk to teach at.
Yeah.
And
I work from home sometimes too, so it's nice to have this.
We have an actual desk.
So we have an actual office / studio. My drum set's in here.
I know. It's nice.
There's plenty of room. There's
You've got
a
some
fireplace.
guitars out. You've got one of your drums. That's the drum from Africa, right?
It is. That's from Tanzania.
And our mask from Tanzania is back out.
It's nice.
And the swords, they're behind the drums over there. And our mics are permanently set up. So recording used to mean like we had to move a table into our office and hook up mics. And
well, I wanted to talk about that first episode we recorded. We were just trying to find the best room in the house. We weren't really sure. We were trying to focus on the acoustics and making sure that everything wasn't too echoey. So we thought that Jacob's room was the best room. And so we had our more inexpensive mics that we're using, which weren't so great. And we were uncomfortable. We were in this tiny room. Fast forward to now, 37 episodes later, and we're in a permanent space in our house with a room dedicated to this, with mic stands that won't ever be detached. And we've had this, like, I remember at one point in the other space, I had like boxes stacked up with the mic stand on top and draped with blankets over it. I mean, we've really gone the gamut.
We've moved on up.
We've moved on up,
yes.
So which is really, really exciting. So I'm happy to be in here. I almost feel like we've got the door shut, so we're by ourselves, and hopefully the acoustics are pretty good and the audio sounds good. But I feel like we need to put one of those red lights outside the door to let everybody know in the house that we're recording. But
we could get a little sign that we just hang out there.
Recording.
But we also need to paint this side of the door.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that the door was only painted white on one side. How did Jackson live like this?
I don't know, because he was looking
All
at
of the
his
trim,
Xbox.
the
He wasn't
doors,
looking at a door.
Everything's white trim except the back of the store, which I never really saw before.
But anyway, that was a long 11-minute explanation as to why we did not release on Monday this week, because the day that we would have normally recorded, we were moving into a new studio. So we will post pictures. We're going to snap some pics.
We're going to snap some pics.
I was hoping you didn't hear that.
We're
going to snap some pictures and post them as soon as we're done, and tease the episode a little bit, which will be released on Thursday. So yeah.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, and I wanted to do a cheers to you for me being cured of cyclospora.
Knock on wood. Don't need any more basil.
I know. Jenny is drinking. What are you drinking today, Jenny?
Water. I'm drinking water.
No, you're not drinking water. We talked about adult beverages last time. We can talk about it. This is a special occasion. We're cheering our
that makes
our
me feel
new
better.
Studio. We're cheering. We're celebrating the fact that I'm healthy.
I have a nice bottle of champagne in the fridge, but I can't open it because I won't drink the whole thing.
We gotta wait.
I mean, I could, but I won't. I do love champagne.
Yeah.
So this feels like I should be drinking this out of a champagne glass.
I can go get one if you want.
You should be drinking your Bud Light out of a champagne glass, and I should be drinking my spiked seltzer out of a champagne glass. You're right. It is kind of a big deal.
It is a big deal. This is great.
It's really pretty. Yes.
It is.
I'm glad that when Jacob selected this desk for his room, that I influenced him, because I really like the desk.
I really like the desk too.
Maybe at some point I was thinking it would be ours.
Obviously, we'll post pictures of it, but I think it's perfect for recording. Yeah, it's good.
Excellent.
So again, episode 37. I hope everybody liked that relationship episode we released last week. That was a lot of fun to record. I enjoyed that. If you haven't listened to that episode, it's called Your Last Argument.
Oh, right.
We did the Gottman quiz about your last argument. I really enjoyed it, and it was very insightful. And I want to invite everybody to check that out.
Oh, and we should check back in and report that we didn't fight.
We didn't fight.
So right after we shut off the mics, we went, what was it, like 9:30 at
well,
night?
I cut the episode, so I was occupied for a little while.
But then, so I was packing by myself with the boys. So not by myself, but kind of by myself.
Yeah.
And having the like age-old fight with them where I was like, okay, go bring me like 4 pairs of underwear. 4? Why 4? I just need 2. No, you're gross. Bring 4. It was really like 8, whatever. Anyways, that's what I was doing. But we didn't fight then or the next morning, even though we left 45 minutes later than I wanted to. I think we did fight with our teenager.
Yeah.
I don't remember about what, but you and I did not fight.
Right, which was the point.
Which I felt was different. And so I think I do attribute that to doing that Gottman quiz, because it was insightful. And so, I don't know, it just kind of changed my perspective It made me kind
Right.
of a little more cued into where you might be coming from.
Hmm. And I think during our little getaway too, I think for the most part, when the boys always fight a little bit, so we have to. That's just their age.
Oh,
But
can we do an episode about that?
yeah, I think we have to.
Okay.
But you and I think we're good the whole weekend.
We fought on the way home.
What was that about?
I don't remember. Well, because here's what. Do you remember?
No.
Because you got offended that we called you a bad co-pilot and we didn't like your music selection.
Oh, we fought about that.
You got so butthurt.
Oh.
Yeah, you like crossed your arms. You were like, "I'm going home."
No, I
Not
think
really,
that was
but-
because it was like 5 hours of incessant "Dad, you stink" as the DJ.
But you really weren't that.
I was
great.
just like, here, you know what, guys? Here you go. Someone else make the just
I
song
think
choices.
that the boys and I have the same taste in car trip music, road trip
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
You don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe not.
All
Anyway,
right. So that was a nice little follow up because we said we would
Yes.
sort of let people know, and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it worked. And so I do really think we probably would have fought as we packed
yeah,
if we hadn't sort of taken that time to sort of realign ourselves and really kind of unpack a recent argument.
I'd really like to invite everybody to not only check out that episode, but check out the Gottman quiz and see if you'd like to do it for yourself.
I think all of the Gottman, I think all of our relationship episodes have been centered around quizzes, right? They're kind of like as a package
Yeah.
deal, a good thing for couples to do.
Yeah,
I think. Okay.
yeah. I think they.
Not always Gottman. It's Gottman
No,
and
no.
Chapman.
I think they help frame radio content, podcast content.
But they're
pretty
also
well,
really
too.
useful.
Yeah.
hmm
So what are we doing today, Jenny?
So I don't have anything prepared. 'cause
Clearly.
I never do. But I was thinking a lot, sometimes, often topics kind of keep coming up over and over and over and over again. Are you waving at Norma Jean?
She's breathing and snoring really loud.
She's really happy. She never gets to be in
I
here
know.
with us. Ever. It's always the other two.
Well, the benefit of this new studio is I think that we can just rotate them.
Yeah.
Like next time we record, Ever can be in here
Okay.
or whatever.
This is a Norma Jean episode.
Yeah.
I feel like the universe kind of throws things at you over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And so lately, what the universe has been throwing at me, both in my own head and in talking with friends and in talking with clients and talking with students, is that summer can be wonderful, but it also can be really stressful.
Yeah.
Like there's this intense amount of pressure that people feel in the summer. And I didn't, you were like, what are we talking about? And I said, I don't really want to talk about it ahead of time because I want to talk about it
Organically.
organically.
Yeah.
So do you get that sense? Like, do you feel pressure as sort of not just a parent, but as a person during the summer?
Yeah, absolutely.
What kind of pressure?
I always feel like it flies by and I get like stressed out and nervous about that. Like I don't go back to school. Like I don't go to school anymore. And
I usually do.
that's true. But for me, my schedule doesn't really change
Right.
from like August to September, but I still feel that like the dread of school coming back around. Right.
Oh, that's
And
interesting. Did you always
yeah.
dread going back to school?
I think so. Only because, I didn't mind school. I was good at school, but the element of no longer being off, right?
Okay.
No longer having days off and being able to sleep in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I feel like it gets earlier and earlier. It's like common office chat about how all the kids these days go back so much sooner than we used to. Like nobody ever went back until after Labor Day when we were kids. And now it's weird if they do go back after Labor Day. But they get out earlier. So I guess it's a give and take, but still, we're looking at school going like they've got 2 weeks left and many other parts of the country already go back.
Yes.
I think they get out in like early June or late May or something. So that's just, I'm already seeing people from other states that I know on Facebook posting back to school pictures. I'm like,
Yes.
what? Oh my goodness.
Yes. Actually, I think our nephew and niece in Florida go back to school tomorrow,
Yeah.
which will be 2 days ago when this comes out.
Yeah.
But what kind of pressure do you feel?
I think it's just the progression of like the loss of that time,
Mm.
the loss of the fun time, or I even when I like walk through Target or something, right? You know how I always get mad about
Oh yeah,
the
you
stuff,
threw like a temper tantrum when we
the
were in there
stuff going up
last
too
week.
early. Yeah, it drives me nuts.
We were looking for a beach chair,
Yeah,
and
and it's like
it was all school stuff.
I mean, it was like July still, or like it was like August 1st or 2nd or something. When it was before. It was before our trip to New Hampshire, so it was.
I think it was right before we went to the
It was
beach
still in
that
July.
day. Yeah.
It's like
I actually
July
saw all
20
the school
something.
stuff out like July 4th.
It's just
They made that switch over.
we go in there to get beach stuff, and then like it's slim pickings, and it's all on like clearance to what's left, and everything is there is like school, and even like Halloween stuff is starting to pop up, and it's like,
Yes, a friend
holy
of
crap.
mine had her candy corn out the other day.
Oh my goodness.
It was in the background of a picture.
It's like the the free market or whatever, the retail market just pushes us along, and sort of fast forwards time. And I want, especially during the summer months, I want the boys to have like time to sort of stop for a little bit and just enjoy the time off. Like I like walking through the stores in late spring and early summer, seeing all the pool stuff and seeing all the barbecue stuff out. It's like indicative of the season, makes you feel good. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I feel an intense amount of pressure to make summer awesome.
Yeah.
Like everyone.
You feel like you need to be the cruise director for the summer. Yeah.
Not just for the kids, but for myself. I feel like every time I turn around, the topic of conversation is like, how's your summer? Have you been on any vacations? What do you have lined up for the rest of the summer?
Yeah.
What have the kids been doing this summer?
Right.
And I feel like there's so much pressure. And then there's this comparison trap because people are posting on social media their pictures of their vacations and their pictures of their days that they're doing, what they're doing. And kids are comparing things. I just feel like this pressure. And it was Saturday. You and I were out, right? Mm-hmm. And we went for like a little impromptu date at like the only restaurant we ever go to these days.
Our favorite.
And I forget why we were talking about this, but you were like, it's okay to just not do anything. I think I was feeling guilty about, we had been invited to go to the beach.
Yes.
The next day, which would have been yesterday.
Yes.
And then we decided that really we all could benefit from just sleeping in and not getting up early and sort of packing a cooler. And it is kind of a lot of work to go to the beach. And then potentially moving these rooms around. And I said, I feel bad because the boys only have 2 weekends left after that weekend. And then it's back to school. And that doesn't feel fair that they don't get to do something like fun and exciting. And you were like, they don't have to do something fun and exciting.
They don't.
Every day. But I feel this pressure like they need to, so that when they roll back to school in 2 weeks and their friends are like, what did you do this summer? I don't know. I mean, really nothing. But then I guess not really nothing, because truthfully they both did 2 week long camps. One of them did a third kind of half day camp for 1 week. We went away to Florida. We went away to New Hampshire. One of them went to Six Flags. They started football. What else have we done? Went to the movies, went to the beach.
Multiple times, beach multiple times. And we still got 2 weeks left there. They've got other stuff going on. They're going to do some deep sea fishing with me and my dad.
Mm-hmm. That sounds dreadful.
It's going to be fun.
I keep seeing pictures of people fishing and then sharks come up. I saw another one last night. Are you guys going to be hanging off the back of a boat with a shark?
Yes, but we're going to be covered in chum and meat.
It's not funny.
No, we're not going to be doing that. It's a gigantic ship. It's a chartered fishing ship. It's huge.
So how many people you just like hang off the edge with like a fishing pole?
Yeah, the pole hangs off the edge. We don't hang off the edge.
But then do you have to reel it in? And then reach over with your fingers to get the fish?
No, there's
while
nets.
While the shark jumps up.
There's nets.
Oh, I don't understand
so you reel in as far as you can go.
I'm sleeping in that day. Yeah. You guys have to be like 45 minutes away by 7 a.m. Have fun.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a blast.
You're going to have fun.
My dad's
I'm not getting the boys up with you.
Yeah. It'll be good to do that before we start having football games on the weekends. So.
True. Yeah. And maybe we could go to the drive-in. But see, I feel all this pressure. Like we've got this tiny little window. And even yesterday when we were doing all this moving around in the house, I felt like, this is a beautiful day. We're wasting sunshine. We're wasting this beautiful day because in New England, our beautiful days get shorter and shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
Already the days are actually getting shorter.
They are.
I notice when I'm leaving my office at night that it's starting to not be so bright anymore. And so I just feel like the window is closing, the window of like being able to be outdoors, being able to be in the sun. That's why the past 3 football practices I go and I sit there. Nothing really fabulously exciting is going on. And sometimes I'm just on my phone. There's no pads yet. And sometimes I'm just talking to other parents. But truthfully, I'm there because I'm soaking up the sun and being a cat. I'm just sitting in the sun, and it gives me somehow permission to sit there and do nothing. I'm not grading papers. I'm not preparing for class. I'm not corresponding with clients. I'm not working on my book or anything like that. I'm just sitting there because of the sun. And I feel like pretty soon it's going to be cold, and I don't like the cold. And so I don't want to be outside. So I just feel like there's this window that's closing, and it's really expensive to
do stuff. Yeah.
Summers are expensive. I cut back on my hours, partially this summer because I have some health stuff going on and had 1 million doctor's appointments, but also partially because I like to kind of have a Monday or a Friday off each week to be with the boys.
Right.
But that means I'm making less money. That means that phone interference was not mine. My phone is off.
Oh.
Was it yours?
Nothing happened to my phone, though.
Oh, I heard interference.
You heard it too? I heard it too.
So I'm making less money, and we're spending more money, and the camps cost money, and our boys are at an age where like we don't need fancy childcare for them. We've got more flexibility now. But for those parents where both parents are working, summers are really expensive to like tough. Enroll kids in camps or daycare. And then a lot of the camps that we look at they're not actually full day. You know, school usually starts 8:30 and runs to 2:30, but camps run like 9 to 3.
Yeah.
That changes things drastically for people. So I just feel like there's all this pressure, and I don't quite know where it comes from or what perpetuates it.
Well, I think it's because during the school year, kids have an agenda. Right, this thing is going on, and what we need to do is fit in the family fun in and around their agenda. And there's not a lot of like pressure to fill up that time because they're in school 36 hours a week or whatever it is.
And they've got stuff built into the weekends already.
Yes,
so there's not like this like,
sports.
what are you going to do that's fun this weekend? It's like we're gonna sit at a football field for 7 hours, or we're gonna sit at 17 basketball games, or we're going to, what else do we do? It's basketball and football in the winter. Mm-hmm. Is that it?
Well, then
and baseball.
Right. That's
conditioning. True. And then maybe we'll be able to like go out to dinner or go to a movie, or maybe get a night away as a family. But so there's not that pressure when people come back to school on Monday or go back to the office. Like, how was your weekend?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
So, now in the summer, we have the primary responsibility to fill their agenda.
Yeah.
Right. And there's this negative connotation that, they're not supposed to sit in front of the TV all day. They're supposed to get out, and they're supposed to do other things besides just be on their phones and play Xbox. And sometimes they just, especially kids that are like super busy, sometimes they just need that downtime. They deserve downtime to be able to sit on their bed, watch a couple of episodes of their favorite show, and just chill out.
Yes.
And that's okay. That has to be okay. We can't just say as a society, that's never okay. The kids always need to be doing something. Why aren't they doing this? If they're not in school, they need to be doing schoolwork in the summer. They need to be reading and all that stuff. I mean, that's enrichment, and it helps with schoolwork, and it makes for a better student. And
it prevents the summer slide.
But I have
Which
trouble.
Which is the notion that kids lose skills.
Right.
They lose, I think, a few months worth of skills over the summer.
But I have trouble with it being the priority during these summer months.
Our kids haven't done any of their packets
No,
yet.
they haven't.
And they never do. It's always a last minute thing. And I struggle with that. When they were younger, do you remember? I used to like make my own packets for them.
Yes, of course you did. You made your own packets for yourself when you were a kid.
True story. I would make my own packets for them and kind of leave them with our nanny to do, or we would do them and use like online stuff for them.
Yeah, I remember.
But now I know what kinds of students they are. And I don't know. I really struggle with it. And then so I feel guilty about that. Like, I'm really not making my kids spend a half hour each day doing a packet or writing a book report.
Yeah.
They're going to cram it all in. And I get that comes from me. That's how I work. I work best under pressure.
Right.
Every paper I've ever written, anything that I've really ever written.
Witten?
Is that like witty writing?
That's Jason Witten, a tight end for the Dallas Cowboys.
Obviously. Anything I've ever written that's kind of good has been written under pressure.
Yeah.
Up against a deadline.
What was that quote we heard recently? From the best pressure comes diamonds or something?
Is that from Last Chance
It
You?
was from Last Chance You. Teaser episode, maybe
Yeah, we do need to
a full one or a pint size. We just finished the latest season of Last Chance You on Netflix, and it was excellent. We're a big football family, as you guys all know, so we love that show. But it was a lot of fun to watch that, to binge it with you.
I wouldn't say it was fun.
Well, the episode.
We will talk about it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
We have stuff to talk about there.
Yeah, anyway,
I just got sidetracked.
Sorry.
So I think that tendency that I have to sort of cram is now coming out in like the summer school stuff. Like school starts in 2 weeks. Most of the other parents I know have done their back to school shopping. We have not. Kids don't have their clothes.
We did our back to football shopping.
We did.
Like quite literally last week.
And we're saving our money to pay for their football stuff and then pay for our upcoming trip and all this nonsense. But they don't have back to school clothes yet. Not that they're naked. They have clothes to wear. And they really don't care what they wear on the first day of school, sort of. Although they might the night before be like, I don't like any of my outfits.
I think the older one is starting to care.
We will get them.
Yeah.
He did. He asked me yesterday if we could go school shopping.
We'll get them stuff, but we just don't have it right now.
We don't have it, and we don't have any of their school supplies yet. So now we're kind of up against the clock there. But it feels like summer is over, and I have this pressure to still make it super fun.
Yeah.
So where does that come from?
I think it just...
Because were your summers like fantastic and amazing? Were your parents cruise directors?
No,
hiccups.
Not even a little bit. I think I was my own cruise director.
I was too.
You know? And why is that not okay? Why do we have to be in charge of the fun?
Well,
right?
What did your summers consist of when you were a kid?
Well, why don't we take a break and we'll come back and talk about that. We can talk about our summers as kids.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
All right. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Cinemarks. If you have your tickets, take your seats. The show is about to begin.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Every week, Troy Adams is joined by an array of nerdy podcasting co-hosts.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
They discuss films and television from the past, present, and future. It's always something different on the slate.
Life is a box of chocolates, Forrest. You never know what you're gonna get.
It's always kept fun, spirited, and they attempt to be entertaining.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
You can follow the Cinemarks on Twitter and Instagram at CinemarksPod.
Go ahead. Make my day.
The Cinemarks podcast is available on Wooshka, iTunes, Spotify, and most other podcasting platforms. We hope you enjoy the show.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Okay, we're back. So what were we just about to discuss?
Well,
our summers.
Yes, but Norma Jean thought that break meant that we were over. So
yeah, she's feisty now.
Yeah, she's
Norma Jean.
This is when she hears us say okay and feels us kind of wrapping something up.
Yeah,
that's when she gets crazy.
Let's post a picture of Norma Jean. She's the cutest.
She is. I can't because my phone is off.
She is our cutest pit bull. I would like to say, cutest.
Wow.
She's a pocket pitty. She's tiny.
Lola might hear this and
no,
get her
we're not going to tell
hurt.
Lola about this discussion at all.
Tell her.
I'll try to take a picture.
Okay, so we were talking about what did our summers look like It's a cute
She just
picture.
posed for
I
that
know.
picture.
What did our summers look like before, but when we were kids?
Yeah.
Your phone's interfering.
I know my phone is interfering.
So what did you do in the summers when you were a kid?
Oh, geez. We camped.
So you did do family things.
Yeah. So that just light bulb. Since I was like in first
Light
grade
bulb.
till, I like your, what was that?
Light bulb.
Light
Despicable Me?
bulb. What's his name though?
Gru.
Gru.
Groot.
It's like
I am
Groot, but
Groot.
it's not.
It's Gru.
It's Gru. Anyway, good movies. We camped from pretty much when I was in first grade up until, like the summer before we met, or 2 summers before we met.
So I also feel pressure to camp during the summer, but I don't like camping.
I like camping.
You get camp feet,
But-
and you have to share showers.
Here's the okay. So can I?
And there are bears
This is how I feel about camping.
and dirt.
Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna sound kind of crappy.
Actually, I have to say that this is the anniversary of our very first trip away. Jackson just walked in here and is saying something. I'm taking a shower.
Okay.
All right.
Good idea.
Is that what you're saying?
Smelly teenager.
Okay, great. Love you. Bye. Get
I'm
your
li-
own towel.
I'm leaving this in.
You all might get to hear what happens when a teenager forgets a towel. He comes out and says, "Towel, please. Towel."
1 second. Got someone please get me a towel.
Get your own towel. Bye.
You better put that out.
We're not cutting
No,
this out.
it's not getting
We're
cut
rolling.
out.
This is going to be live on national podcasting.
International.
Internet. Oh, that's right. We have listeners in Korea and Germany. Beat it.
Get in the shower.
Get in
Go.
the shower.
Hit the showers.
Bye.
Um,
So this is our anniversary of our very first time that we went away, you and I as a couple.
it is.
And
Yes.
it was to it was to a campground.
Yeah. The
our
same
very
campground I went to as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I ever went camping.
Mm-hmm.
We must have, did we buy a bunch of camping stuff?
We did at Walmart or Kmart. It was Kmart. That's how long ago
I
it
feel
was.
dirty just thinking about like I had to take showers in
We
a
had-
public
we bought,
shower
like-
and I had like camp feet.
I'm pretty
and
sure we spent like $200.
I think we bought a
on-
camping kit.
It was a camping kit. It came with a big tent. It came with a
I
stove.
don't think I would say that was a big tent.
Well, for $200.
Okay.
It was like a four person tent.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Okay.
No, for sure.
Okay.
4 or 5 person tent. It might have even come with sleeping bags. It came with a bunch of stuff.
It did not come with a bed.
No.
Or a fan.
A stove, like a little propane stove, all the camping sort of utensils and gear.
And then
A
we
lantern.
We swam in a lake and a big old lake snake slithered out.
It was a pond.
Pond. What's the
Yeah.
difference between a pond and a lake?
Size, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pond.
Yeah, it was a pond. And maybe depth. I'm not sure. Anyway, so what were we even talking about?
Camping.
Oh, how
That
I
was
feel
what you
about
did.
camping.
Mhm.
So this is going to make me sound
See,
like
this
kind of
episode
butthead, I
has
think.
0 direction.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to be received.
So this is my own feeling I'm not projecting. I'm not saying. I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum about how they feel
Shut
about
this
camping.
off. Shut it off right
So,
now.
how they feel about camping, whatever. I like camping, but not with you. Like, and that's not against you. So like when we go away, I don't have any desire to spend it camping with you. Is that weird?
Tread lightly here.
And so I'd rather be in a hotel, at a bar, on a nice
could it
bed.
be that because I'm a happier
to
version of
dinner.
myself when I get to sleep in an actual bed and I don't have
maybe.
dirty feet and I
I
have
just-
my own shower?
I think it must be because of my knowledge of how you think of camping and what makes a vacation good for you. It's got to be. But like even if you see, I was going to say even if you like camping, I think I'd rather. I don't know. I like camping, at some point in the future, I would like to go camping with the boys because I feel like it's a dad son thing. Like there's like you can be dirty, you can just sit there by the fire with a beer and maybe smoke a cigar or whatever, and maybe go fishing and cook over the fire. Like I think I like look at that as like a dad son thing. Maybe because I did one of my most fond summer memories was camping with my dad. Out in Western Mass on the Connecticut River. We went there 2 or 3 times. I think it was in late August or something. Like you could camp right on the river. That's back when we had a boat, so you actually brought your boat. There were spots on the Connecticut River where you could dock the boat. It was part of like your fee to stay at this campground. You could park your boat there too. A couple different times, like he let me and my brother bring a buddy of ours, and it was just a guy trip. I think that's probably where this comes from.
So like girls don't belong camping.
Yeah,
kind of. That's okay.
Makes
Listen,
me sound like a butthead.
I don't want to be invited to that camping trip.
I know. And we used to go catfishing at night, and the only time catfish would bite in the Connecticut River is at night. So you like sort of sleep during the day, or you sleep in, and you get to the side of the river at the riverbank at like 8:00 at night, and you light a fire and you just fish all night.
That sounds awful.
It was great.
All right.
There's listeners out there right now saying that sounds awesome.
Can you make a note? We should make a poll about that. I feel like we often talk about what we should make polls about, and then it doesn't happen. Can you start doing show notes since I'm not allowed to have my phone on and I don't have a computer in front of me?
Should I spell it like pole, Pole, like fishing pole?
No, that's not.
That was a dad joke.
Okay.
Make a poll for.
All right. So your
camping.
Summers you would spend camping, and then I tried to join in that with you.
Yeah, you did. But we've talked
memories.
about this. I think we went camping out of necessity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like we were old enough to go away on our own. We had our own cars and whatever. We were independent. We were really young, but we were independent, but we couldn't afford. Like it was $20 a night to rent a campsite for a tent site.
Yeah, but then it was a whole.
Super
then you have to
affordable for
like
us.
buy all your food and ice and coolers and have to plan everything.
But again, we
lot of
spent
work.
$200 and got a whole kit.
We could have spent $200 on a hotel room.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway.
Anyways, all right. So that's what you used to do with your summer.
Pretty much.
So would you guys you would camp every weekend? Did you have like a regular
Almost.
campsite?
I mean, at
Because
one
you
point,
guys had a pop-up, right?
yeah. It was weird though. My brother and I never stayed in the camper.
Did the girls stay in the camper? Yeah, that's nice. I support that.
My sisters and my parents stayed in the camper, and then me and my brother stayed in tents. But it's all good.
They didn't care if you guys got eaten by the bears.
There were no bears. Yeah, I think at one point we had like a seasonal site, or at least we kept the camper down there.
I feel like that's a thing that I remember about your
we
family.
went, and my dad would work different events down there he had moonlighted as a DJ.
That's right. Was he DJing when you met your other girlfriend down there?
I think he was. Yeah.
I was joking.
Well, I thought you were being serious. I did have a girlfriend.
I know.
One summer. But yeah, so I think he would get a couple nights for free to go camp down there and work as a DJ at some of the, because they used to have dances. I always my summers at this campground always reminded me of Dirty Dancing. That whole element of like you almost like the episode of Mrs. Maisel.
Okay, so that must be where it comes from, right? Like it back then, these like rich white people, they would summer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, it came up the other day. We were watching a Friends episode where Phoebe's like, "Whoa, where do you summer?"
Yeah.
Because that was a thing. So is this where it comes from? That like historically there was, we can still hear Everett even in this room.
I don't know if
because
he was
in the
picked up
shower,
on the
so
microphone.
he's by himself in the other room. That's what's going on. So historically, there was like this social class thing where if
Yeah.
you were super wealthy, you would summer somewhere at a camp like the Dirty Dancing camp or the
Yeah.
camp like the one the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel's family went to
Yeah.
somewhere.
But
near
for
like
me,
a
that
pond.
was kind of similar. Like we were there so much for 4 or 5 summers in a row. I felt like I was.
Like the same people would go
Yeah.
back. You would
Oh,
know
yeah.
like the people that worked
We knew
there.
the workers. We knew a lot of the same families. There's a couple of families from our town.
So
that we
are
would
our kids
bump
missing
into.
out on something because we don't
No.
summer somewhere?
No, and I don't think that that's realistic. We have jobs. Like,
But your family had jobs. What? So how did that work with your dad? I know your mom. I have the hiccups. I'm sorry.
you do have to take
I
it.
know your mom was a stay-at-home mom, but your dad worked. So how did you guys summer?
Yeah, I mean, he would come up on the weekends. So sometimes we'd go down on like a Thursday. He'd go back to work for a day or two, and then we'd be there over the weekend. I don't have the best accurate memory of the time. Maybe we weren't there as much as I felt like we were, but I felt like we spent a lot of time there. But yeah, there were like summer dances, and this was my pre-adolescent and adolescent time, so it was like all about girls, and there was I had a ton of crushes, and this was the time for me that was, I don't know what developmentally that would be, but I have fond memories of the camp dances and there's like hay rides and all kinds of different little activities and stuff.
Or did anybody put baby in the corner?
I don't think so.
Did you have the time
you don't
of
put
your
baby
life?
in the corner.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
It was fond memories. Fond memories. Yeah.
I wasn't really asking. I was referring to the song.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I was going with it though.
So
But anyway,
So I guess maybe that's where it comes from, is that we have this history in the U.S. of like wealthy white people summering somewhere.
what are you doing for the summer? Where do you go for the summer?
Yeah, I guess that still happens. Like bringing it back to Real Housewives, they all spend the New York ones all spend their summer in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, and to an extent too, like a lot of people try to cram in a bunch of different vacations, even if they're the smaller ones. I mean, we did. We normally do a big trip.
you and I,
No, our family.
your family of origin,
No, our family.
our family. Okay.
We normally do a big trip at the beginning of summer where we didn't because we're doing it in the fall. We've talked about this on many episodes. So we try to fit in a couple different little vacations, and we
True.
did. Albeit the first one was invaded by an intestinal parasite, but whatever.
Yeah.
The second one was really great. But I think people try to do that. Like I talked to multiple people at work that have gone on multiple trips throughout the summer. And I feel like people try to do that. They try to cram stuff in.
Yeah,
They like
I-
cram vacations in on top of kids' camps. And
Well, I was talking to someone at football practice tonight who I haven't seen until tonight, and she was talking about how they haven't been able to. Are you telling me to raise my microphone
Raise
up
your
or
microphone.
raise my voice?
no, raise your microphone.
Because like conductor Josh,
There
that
you
would
go.
mean raise your voice.
That's
So
where
I
your
was
mic
very
needs to be.
concerned. Okay. How come yours isn't there? Yours is down here when you talk.
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
It's my voice.
Okay. What was I saying?
I'm
Oh,
not
so
sure.
she was telling me that they haven't gotten to spend a lot of time at their campsite this summer because of the kids' like sports schedules and work and stuff like that. But they have a campsite for the whole summer. So they still get to, you
Yeah.
have to shut your phone off.
Oh my God.
So I don't know what my point was with that. I guess that people still try to do that.
Yeah.
They kind of cram it all in.
Right.
So maybe the people that are able to do that are the people that are actually off for the summer, either because they're, work at home parents or they're teachers who have the summer off. But
Yes.
we're not.
No.
And so it's hard.
And it's tough too, being able to give the boys what we want to give them during these months, and then still have
Pay
the
the bills.
responsibilities of paying the bills and going to work and all that.
Yeah.
But
I keep on forgetting what I was going to say. There was something else I was going to say as you try to wake up Norma Jean from her very peaceful
I
sleep.
know. She's just a loud breather when she sleeps.
It really keeps like going away from me. Oh, I was going to say, I also don't like the summer. For as much as I love the weather. And
Why don't you?
Because there's no routine. I so am looking forward to, like, as sad as I am that summer will be over, I think I'm only sad because the good weather is going away.
Yeah.
I am so looking forward to the sort of rejuvenation that I feel like always comes with September, with the beginning of the school year. I feel like for us, like, our family gets back on track. It's crazy because it's football season. So it's that time of year where it's like we all eat dinner at 4 p.m. or 9 p.m.
Yeah.
That's our life.
Right.
But there's predictability and there's a routine for every single day of the week, even Saturdays and Sundays.
Right.
And I think I thrive on that. And so I've been struggling with that this summer. Like, I feel guilty. Today was the first day I worked out in months.
Yeah.
I almost
good.
died.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks. I almost died. I worked out in the public. I went for like a walk run. Really just a walk.
Should we tell about my workout story for today?
Yes, please tell that story. Please tell the story since I was not there. You actually lived one of my biggest nightmares.
Yeah.
Aside from being attacked by a flock of wild turkeys and being eaten by a shark, that's probably like my third scariest thing.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
This is what I think of every single time I'm at the gym and I am on this particular piece of equipment. I am thinking, please don't do what you wound up doing
There
today.
might be a video out there right now of me that's going viral.
Did you see what I tagged you in on Facebook?
No.
Oh.
I haven't been on Facebook, actually. So I have been, as everybody knows, trying to get back into running. So I've been running a fair amount. But now we have football in the afternoons, and so I have to squeeze my runs in the morning now, like before work.
Why can't you just run when you get to football?
I can't do that.
Why? But the boys get there 30 minutes early. Why can't you just run your laps?
No, because the coaches sit there and plan practice and chat about what's coming. And
I thought you guys were just talking about
No.
Okay.
No. Plus, I have to be there to adjust helmets and fix things.
That's true.
And whatever.
Okay.
Good thought, but anyway, so
and tell teenage boys to stop whatever they're doing
fooling
at the time.
around. Yeah. So so I go to the gym this morning, and I haven't
This
actually.
is your first time running at the gym in a while, right?
Yeah, I've been running outside. I love our local town park area because the running trail is great. But it's just too dark. Talk about the days getting shorter.
It's too people-y for me.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't go run there tonight.
It's pitch black when I get up to go to work out. So I have to go to the gym. I mean, I don't mind running in the dark, but then you have to get all the reflective gear going and the flashlights and all that. It's
and aren't you afraid of nighttime creatures like skunks and well, raccoons are cute. Foxes?
Maybe. No, not really. I just would rather run it. If I'm getting up that early to run, I'd rather just go to the gym. It's not a big deal. Anyway.
Until today.
Yeah. Well, I like doing, when I run on the street or whatever, I just run whatever. But I like doing specific interval training, like high intensity stuff on the treadmill. Makes the treadmill more exciting. Then you get a more intense workout in a shorter period of time because I don't have a lot of time before I have to go to work. So in like a 20-minute treadmill workout, I'm burning a ton of calories. There's like, 20 seconds on sprint, 10 seconds rest. There's a significant incline increase interval. It's actually a very enjoyable workout. I'll post a picture of it somewhere if anybody's interested.
Make a note so you remember to do that.
It's called 5-4. I just got it off Google. 5-4-3-2-1 interval treadmill workout. It's very cool. Anyway, so I was doing that, and I started off not listening to music, but listening to, of course, a podcast.
That's so weird that you work out to people talking. I have to have
every
music.
now and then I'll do a podcast when I work out. But I'd say 65% of the time I listen to music. But anyway, I decided to start my treadmill workout this morning by finishing up the last few minutes of a podcast I was listening to. So I finished the podcast and I was about ready to switch over to Spotify. And I was on the part of my workout where I was doing a sprint at my top speed, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. You jump to the sides of the treadmill, and then you jump back on.
What was your speed?
8 miles an hour.
That's so scary.
Yeah. Well, so my bright mind decided to change from the podcast to Spotify in the middle of one of the sprints.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I figured I could do it. And I lost my footing.
This is a nightmare.
I went, and it was like one of those moments where I knew that it was happening. It was totally like something from the movie, slow motion. Thought to myself, well, I can't stop this now. I'm going down. And
in front of all those people?
There was a good amount of people there, but it was like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Did it make a big loud thud?
I don't know. My headphones were on.
Because when I'm on the treadmill, and especially if I'm doing inclines, my water bottle has fallen out like 3 times. And I'm mortified because it falls out and like thuds on the thing and everyone looks at me and I don't like to be looked at. I don't like to be the center of attention, even though right now people are listening to me, but I can't see you listening to me right now. So with that, you must have made such a big noise.
I must have.
Did you swear? Did you go like, ah?
No.
There was no yelling?
I don't remember.
Did you say, oh?
I could have been. I should. Yeah. I was like, oh. I scraped my knees and they still hurt.
You got a boo-boo?
I did. I got 2 boo-boos.
Oh.
I had my phone in my hand the whole time. I didn't lose it. I didn't break it. I braced myself with my right hand and my knees went down. They got scraped.
Did it like sloop you off?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I like landed on my knees. My knees got scraped and it quickly moved me to the end and I was off. Within a second, I was off the treadmill. The guy behind me goes, "You okay?" and I looked over at him. I gave him a thumbs up. I said, "I'm good."
While you were sitting on the floor at this point? Oh, you like hopped back.
You
were like a bumble. You bounced.
Yeah. No, like I went to my knees. The treadmill took me to the end, and my feet landed on the ground.
Oh.
And I stood right back up.
Sounds choreographed. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what did you do? Just hop right back on in the middle of your sprint, or did you turn it down?
No.
You're bad.
And I turned it up actually, because I think at that moment I was 7.5 miles an hour. I'm like, well, the only thing left to do now is actually try to look okay. So I bumped it up a speed and I kept going.
Wow.
And
did you cry? I would have cried.
I resumed my Spotify playlist.
In the middle of a sprint again?
Yeah. No, it was on the 10-second break.
What is your Spotify playlist for running?
So right now, I can even pull it up on my phone. Where'd my phone go? Right now, I'm listening to a couple different rock playlists. They're like Spotify created. I didn't create them. I think the one I'm listening to now.
Oh, your phone.
My phone is messed up.
Yeah.
Is called Drum Mania.
That's dumb.
Well, it's a bunch of these great songs that feature a lot of, like rock songs that feature a lot of drums, like Black Betty, Slow Ride, Mississippi Queen, Chicago's 25 or 6 to 4. Good stuff.
Oh, I want Black Betty on mine.
Yeah.
Can you send
check
that
that
to me?
out. Drum Mania. Yeah. Not right now though.
Will you put it in the show notes?
Drum Mania on Spotify. It's going in the show notes.
I just listen to my own personally curated playlist.
See, I get bored of mine. Like I found myself skipping so many of the.
I actually like to work out to the music that our children enjoy.
Yeah, you do.
The like swearing, really inappropriate, terrible music. It motivates me.
Yeah.
So I just need it to be refreshed. I might give them my phone and have them add some stuff.
That's a good idea.
That's what I like doing.
So can I steer us back to the summer discussion just for a second?
Well, wait, let me finish what I was saying.
What were you saying?
So because there's no structure, or there's much less structure in the summer, I have a hard time fitting in that kind of stuff. Like during the
Yeah.
school year, I have this
I get
very
that.
like regimented, like these are the hours I see patients. This is the time I have class. These are the times I go to the gym. Same every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Right.
I said Monday twice. I know exactly when I can go to the gym. But now that it's summer, I feel like, well, I can't be at work for 9 hours. I can't see 9 patients today and go to the gym when
Yeah.
my kids are home. But I can do it when they're in school. And so I really struggle with not having that routine. So I'm actually excited, and I can't help but think part of the reason I'm like in a really great mood this week and I'm feeling motivated and I have energy is because summer's coming to an end and I get to like restart, refresh,
Yeah.
because it feels more like New Year to me. September going back to school feels more like a New Year's than New Year has ever
No,
felt
I
to
get
me.
that. Yeah.
And so I'm really excited for that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at, I guess. But I feel guilty about that. So today, because the boys now have football every day, so they have
Yeah.
like this thing that they're going to be at. So I knew I was going to go sit at football with them tonight for 2
Right.
hours and sort of be a cat and sit in the sun and watch them. I felt like, okay, I can take this like 30 minutes between when I'm done with work and when they have to leave for football, and they can theoretically get themselves ready for football while I work out.
Right.
Didn't actually work out that way because one of them forgot his knee brace and his compression shorts and water or something.
Well, while you were working out, I was busy on a conference call.
Yeah.
So,
Well, anyways, my point was
but
what
it's all
allowed
good.
me to kind of do that was the fact that now we have more structure. This is our first kind of full week of football practice.
Yeah. No, I get that a lot. And I think that that's okay to feel good about that. You shouldn't feel guilty about that.
But everyone around, not everyone, there's a lot of people around us who are like, oh, I'm so sad summer's coming to an end and I'm going to miss these days. And I love my kids and I wish we could sit around and do nothing and enjoy summer all the time.
That'd be great.
But summer is financially stressful for me because I'm pulling in less income because
Yeah.
I'm trying to kind of be there more. And so I love them. Also, I feel like they're happier versions of, I feel like they also function better with routine. And so I feel like they're happier versions of themselves when they're in routines.
Yeah, I don't know that it's school, but I think
A routine.
like football, I think is, accomplishing that routine element.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, I think was, we were a little bit cheated this summer out of July, which makes it tough.
Because of cyclospora.
Yeah, and the stuff you were dealing with and,
Oh, that's true.
your medical stuff. So it's like for real, suddenly it's August, whatever, and I'm finally healthy.
Yeah.
And
I think if we had to count up how many doctor's appointments you and I both had,
yeah,
it would easily be over a dozen
so that
just in July.
Absolutely. And all that stuff really for us shortened the summer. It shrunk the summer.
That's true.
In
so
a
maybe
lot of
that's
ways.
maybe that's part of why I'm struggling is because I feel even more pressure because all those days I shifted my schedule to allow for time off. And I feel like I haven't really done anything with those days off because I didn't really have those days off because I used them for to see doctors and everything is okay.
Yeah.
Like I've got a surgery lined up. They're taking out some of my parts.
Yeah.
My ovary, some other
absolutely.
stuff.
You don't need that
cyst.
anymore. It's all
I
good.
don't need it. I'm good. We have a plan to hopefully help with the pain for after so stuff doesn't grow back and become an issue. And I actually have a big questionnaire to fill out for a genetic screening for cancer stuff. So that's actually not exciting, but I'm glad that I have that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. That's important.
To pursue that. So I think you're right there about that piece.
And also I think everybody needs to realize that just because the kids go back to school, it doesn't mean the weather's suddenly done, right? I mean, it's really kind of beautiful all the way through September usually.
Sometimes even well into October.
Right. Well, I'm doing a golf tournament in early October. And the last time I did this tournament, it was like we were hot out there. It was beautiful shorts and T-shirts. And
Oh, yeah. That tournament that you got to play in and I had to work.
Yes, you did. But you don't have to work this one. You can just enjoy it.
I'm not working it.
Yeah. You can just enjoy it.
No, I'm going to go for dinner.
Okay. What are you doing during the day? Do you have plans yet?
I'm going to say yes in case anyone from that particular team is listening and expects me to volunteer. I am very, very
You're gonna get a
busy
phone
that day.
call. Yeah, right.
Truthfully, that day is my sister's birthday.
Oh, that's
We
right.
need to figure some stuff out there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
This is also, I guess, well, then that moves into the pressure of the fall, because I also feel pressure in the fall because everybody's birthday except for mine
That's a whole.
is
I think
in
that's
like
feel like that's a whole
a
other
6-week
episode.
period, and there's
Yeah.
no time for birthday parties. Like, there just isn't.
I also feel like this summer. I mean, our boys dealt with a little illness early on with the
They did?
swimmer's ear stuff.
Oh, that's right.
I feel like there was like
After Florida,
Yeah.
we came back and the 3 of y'all were sick.
I feel like this summer I've heard of so many different kids have swimmer's ear. I don't know if I don't know what that's about, but if your kids, swim a lot, just be on the lookout for that. There's things you can do to prevent swimmer's ear. There's,
yeah, like do like I do. Don't dive in a pool.
yeah. Well, kids are going to
Don't
dive.
go under.
And there's all kinds of different earplugs you should look into if your kids are,
Yeah, no kids want to wear that.
No, but swimmer's ear is no fun. And your entire, the following 2 weeks or so after you get swimmer's ear, your summer is kind of messed up.
That's
'cause
true.
You can't
That
swim
was a
much.
reality for the boys. Yeah,
Really
they both came
was.
home with it.
Um,
Even though I kept saying in Florida, be careful, put your earplugs in, you're going to get swimmer's ear. I'm fine.
and I learned the difference between an inner ear infection and a swimmer's ear infection. It's the pain on the outside.
Yeah, you didn't.
I didn't really know that.
I knew that because
Oh,
our
you did?
oldest gets swimmer's ear
Yeah.
every time we go away.
Maybe I forgot, but
No.
that was what
I got it. Was it last year? Was it last year or the year before?
year before, I want to say.
I jumped in and someone splashed me and I said, now I'm going to get swimmer's ear. And then I
Yeah.
came home with swimmer's ear. All it took was like one dive underwater.
Right. But all in
Anyways.
all, we dealt with a lot of health issues. The boys had swimmer's ear. I
We
had
need
my
a
stuff.
we need a do-over.
We do need a do-over, but I wanted to say there's a lot of great moments so far. I'm not going to say the summer's over because it's only August, whatever it
I
is.
know. But that's also the pressure is that it feels like it's over now.
Yeah, but it's okay to say it's not over. It's okay to enjoy the time we have left. And
I guess it sort of speaks to like black and white thinking, right? And I talk
Yeah.
about this a lot with my clients is living in the gray. And I guess summer and sort of the pressure around summer, like the fact that summer starts and ends, feels very black and white.
Yeah.
Like here's your window of time to have fun, and then basically life stinks after that.
right.
And so that feels very black and white, and that doesn't ever feel good to me. So I don't know. I guess it would feel better if I liked the cold weather and found a way to embrace the cold weather. But then I think like that's nice to like snuggle inside with like sweatpants and
Well,
a
I like,
fireplace.
going out to dinner at a nice restaurant that has a fireplace and
Yeah.
a nice winter menu. And
Going up to New
drink a
Hampshire
glass of
like
wine.
in the
Yeah.
snow at that time.
That's fun. I
While
want to try
you
to do
all
that.
can play outside and I
Yeah.
will sit inside.
What do you mean you all?
Well,
I'll be
'cause-
inside with you.
But I have Raynaud's. So
Right.
I have this fun little condition where my fingers and toes turn blue
Yeah.
in the cold. So
I have
I literally don't like to be outside.
I have this weird condition where all I want to do is snuggle with you under a blanket by a fire
Oh, that's sweet.
in the winter.
That's
Yeah.
sweet. Well, that was when we
it's
got
real.
engaged.
It's real. Yeah, it is.
So I guess
It
it's a
is.
sentimental time for us.
For sure. Well, we started dating in late fall.
That's
So, our formative years as a couple was in the winter.
Our like relationship love map
Yeah.
was
And
formed in
our wedding was in January. So,
yeah, that's true. Okay. All right.
So
I don't-
winter's important for us as a couple.
Yeah. So it's about, I guess, changing perspective and shifting our
Yeah.
focus and not having it be so focused on like summer's over,
Yeah.
school is starting,
Don't
life
bookend
stinks.
Don't bookend your summer. People start having fun in Memorial Day weekend. And school's not out yet, but heck, have fun. Go do whatever. Have a cookout. You got Labor Day. You got other different events and things all throughout September. Like there's so many cool things to do on the weekend. I feel like all throughout wherever you live, throughout September and October, like
If you're in Kansas, you can go to the Neowalla Festival.
we learned about that.
We learned that.
But yeah, like apple picking and all kinds of those fall things, like those corn mazes.
Unless you play football.
But that's fun for us.
And
Fall,
it is fun. The
fall
boys
for
love
us
it.
is football, and it's a blast.
Yeah.
You know.
Is that gonna? Our oldest is gonna go to high school next year, so he won't have weekend games.
He won't have weekend games as a freshman, no.
Okay.
So
this is our last kind of fall season that we're heading into, where like both boys are going to have games all weekend.
Yeah. But anyway.
All right. So I didn't really have a point to any of this. Just thought it was something to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was like for folks to have just sort of a topic. I don't have tips. I guess the tip is to try to not be so black and white.
Well, absolutely. And I think that people just need to lean into your summer and don't worry about the time constraints. Don't worry about the start and stopping. Don't worry about the back to school time. Just enjoy it. I mean, when this comes out here in New England, we'll still have 2 good solid weeks left
before school.
Before school.
Really still a whole month of like summer weather.
Nice weather. So enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, do you have anything else, Jenny?
I don't think I do.
Awesome. Hey, little quick teaser. We are going to be recording a pop culture episode next. So be on the lookout for, because Avengers Endgame just came out on DVD or digital download or both. And we watched it again as a family. And we're going to do a review episode as kind of a follow-up to the discussion we had with Gerald over at Pop Culture Cosmos way back when, but also as a follow-up to our Deaths in the Marvel Cinematic Universe episode as well.
How are we structuring that?
I think both boys are joining us, right?
They both want to.
Yeah.
Yes. Are we structuring that?
I
Should
think
we do like your 5 favorite moments?
Yeah, something like
5
that.
saddest moments, 5 biggest losses.
Most impactful or something
Okay.
of the movie. I think that's probably what we'll do.
Okay.
So stay tuned for that, everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for today. Thanks so much for listening. You can learn more on this by, I don't know, enjoying your summer. We have a couple of things that are going to go out there. The interval workout treadmill thing that I mentioned, a Spotify playlist. We're going to make a poll for camping. So be on the lookout for some of the stuff that we talked about during this episode. Okay, everybody, please follow us on Facebook at Changing Perspectives Podcast and on Instagram at Changing Perspectives Blog. You can check out our website by going to changingperspectivesblog.com or send us an email to changingpodcast@gmail.com. Go ahead and subscribe to the show so you'll never miss an episode, and we'll see you next time. Say bye, Jenny.
Bye, Jenny.
The Changing Perspectives podcast is produced, recorded, and edited by Dizzyburst Studios. Please visit Dizzyburst Studios on Facebook, facebook.com/DizzyBird Studios.